While there is still no word on a cure for the virus, government officials report the virus is not airborne, but...
Is the coronavirus overhyped? Let's find out.
At least 59 deaths have been reported.
America shutting down, 82 deaths, at least 100 dead.
We're stepping it up as much as we can.
The virus outbreak is causing chaos in global financial markets.
Inject up to $1 trillion into the economy.
Scientists at the National Institutes of Health are working to create a vaccine for the new coronavirus that originated in China.
What is a pandemic? How this coronavirus is spreading?
Hello, everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. Boom! If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike the Baldadonis, and I talk about many different topics. Sharing life experiences, one video at a time is my motto. I talk about being in my early 20s, doing 5 years and 3 months in prison for a first-time drug offense. Only to get out unhappy with my body, I decided to do steroids. I gained 105 pounds of pure muscle, only to have a heart attack and other steroid-related health issues. I currently deal with migraines and vertigo from today's foods, environmental pollution, and VOCs. I have conspiracy theories with Gary from the gym. I have Dr. Peter Pacocco. He's my mentor, the reason why I'm on YouTube, and he talks about inspiration. I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and I bring you guys along showing you the pros and cons of each vehicle that I buy. I also bring other people on board, sharing their interesting life stories as well. Hey guys, on tonight's video, we're going to talk about how the coronavirus has impacted all of us. I live in the Boston area, and I started noticing the impact about a week ago. A few weeks back, I bought a BMW M3 convertible. It's springtime here in the New England area, or almost anyways, so I jumped on buying cars for the spring and summer. The convertible was one of them. Last week, I had somebody come out and take a look at the car. He was all set to buy it, he loved it, drove it, really liked it. The next day he calls me up. Mike, I can't buy it. The stock market has crashed, and that's my fun money. I can't buy a car, I actually can't buy anything at the moment. I'm like, all right, not a big deal. This car's gonna sell anyways. After all, it is a convertible, spring is coming. So I really didn't think too much of it. I was like, yeah, the stock market crashed a little bit. It's gonna go up and down like it always does, right? So I went food shopping at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It looked like the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody rushing in to get their last food for the holiday and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, look at this place, is crazy. So I actually left. I went back that same night, only to find half the store gone. Everything up the shelves, gone. The store was littered, like people were just throwing stuff all over the place. The aisles were a mess. I was like, wow. For the first time, I had that sense of being in a movie where you see this happening, like the world's ending type of thing. And just like in the movie, you're sitting there and you're like, huh, that's pretty interesting. All the people going crazy with the look in their face of what to buy. And it was just like that surreal moment. I was like, I'm living in that movie. The impact is starting to happen. And I was like, huh. But again, I blew it off thinking, the hype is getting to the people. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I got what I could. Lucky for me, I'm just a single guy, no kids, and I just need a few items. So, not a big deal. I can just grab what I want, but I do buy organic stuff for the most part. So the thing that was pretty funny, all the chicken was gone except for the organic chicken because it's priced more. So I was able to get my organic chicken. Now that was last week. This week is another story. I go back shopping again, I just need a few things. Nothing, there's nothing. I was like, wow. And my friends are calling me saying they can't get toilet paper and all this stuff. I see on YouTube people having fist fights over toilet paper. I'm like, really? This is getting really crazy. Now, I'm like, okay, is this really happening where it's just so much hype that everybody's going crazy? The schools are closing. The mall is closing. I went to the mall today. Most of the mall was closed. Only a few stores were open. I went to pay a phone bill today at T-Mobile. That whole little mall area with the T-Mobile all shut down. I was like, wow, this is incredible. So I'm just like, what am I going to do? This is interesting only because I just took a small loan out, a personal loan to buy maybe 4 cars for the spring and summer coming up. I want to get some cars in stock. I buy and sell cars as a hobby, so I'm trying to buy some convertibles or some sports cars for the season and get my season rolling. So the bank manager, he was telling me, Mike, you know, the rates gonna keep dropping. So if you want, wait a couple of weeks or even a month, you know, bring your money back, pay off the loan, and get another loan for an even lower rate. I'm like, okay, that sounds great. But I don't plan on having the loan for a long time anyways, just for a few months. Once my cars start rolling, I'll just pay it off. But I'm just seeing the impact now. I'm just like, wow, this is really interesting. I went to the gym and everybody's freaking out. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not a high level germaphobe. I'm probably right there in the middle. If you sneeze, I'm like, you're gross. The gym is disgusting. People walk around with a cold, the flu, runny nose, sneezing, touching everything. They never wipe their stuff up, always sweat. The gym is disgusting, right? And if I could wear gloves all the time and look normal, I would. But since this is happening, I'm wearing rubber gloves and people looking at me and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. I actually carry a few pair with me in my gym bag and I hand them out if people need it. But the gym is like 10, 15 people versus like 100, 200 people. So there is a huge impact just on that. I'm waiting for the gym to close down. From what I hear, a lot of gyms in Massachusetts has closed down, along with the schools, along with movie theaters, along with public places, just like all over the country. So I buy and sell cars, like I said. I live on Craigslist, but I do not have Facebook. I may change that and do a Baldadonis Facebook, and just to get me out there. I got to be honest, I just do not like Facebook. I just don't like how you can just look up for other people, spy on people. And it's annoying because I'm using a family member's Facebook right now for Marketplace. The cars on Marketplace, there's so much more interesting cars that I'm finding versus Craigslist. So I'm out here emailing people or direct messages or whatever the hell it's called, DMs, people on their cars, and it's my aunt's name with my grandmother's face on it because it's Mother's Day is coming up and my aunt wanted to put her face up there. So I get this picture of a 70-something-year-old grandmother typing in, and I'm like trying to explain that I'm using the Marketplace. I'm trying to ask you some questions about your car. Most of these cars that are on Marketplace, there's 5 that I inquired on already sold. So I'm like, okay, so some people with the stock market are having an issue for some money on higher end cars. Like my BMW is about $13,000, $12,000 in that area. Something like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 that I'm seeing on Marketplace and Craigslist are selling. So I think the fear of me buying cars has calmed down a little bit because people obviously still gonna buy cars. I have a new chiropractor. His name is Dr. Scott Fuller. He's gonna be joining me on some videos because he talks about the same things that I like talking about keeping you healthy. He's more educated than I am. He talks about everything and anything that makes you healthy. So he's gonna be joining us very soon. Right now, he just is in a moving phase. He just moved into a new office in Woburn, Massachusetts. So as soon as he settles in, I'll get the cameras down there and we'll start talking about all kinds of interesting health things that will benefit you. Now, I'm gonna let him also talk about the coronavirus. He agreed that I could take some of his video he just made about the coronavirus. I'm gonna post that up. It's only gonna be a few minutes just to show you guys what he's all about. I'll link the video in the description below so you can watch the full video if you like. People like this I enjoy having on my videos. People that are knowledgeable. I want people to be the healthiest versions of themselves. And Scott Fuller will help you with that. And I'm very excited for that.
The head of the CDC folks that are watching this and the public health officials that are watching this are saying there's a lot of unknowns at this point. So we can't say how this is going to particularly flow, right? But so far, if you look at some numbers, let's look at some numbers here so we can just put a little perspective on this. And I think this would be the first thing that we all need to do is put a little perspective on this. So far, just the coronavirus, COVID-19, right now, worldwide, 100,000 people have identified as becoming down with the illness, and there's 3,000 deaths worldwide, which is unfortunate. Comparing that to our own CDC's statistics, just for the United States, just for this flu season in 2019 to 2020, we've had 34 million people get sick with influenza, 350,000 people have been hospitalized, and 20,000 deaths so far just in the United States, just in this flu season, which is far from over. Putting a little perspective in there. Let's look at the past couple of years. Again, right off of our CDC, the 2018-2019 season, just in the United States, we're not talking worldwide, just the United States, 35 million people were sick, 16 million people needed care, 500,000 hospitalizations from influenza now, and 34,000 deaths just in the United States just last year. Look at this now, the 2017-2018 flu season, again, these are just United States numbers, not worldwide, 61,000 deaths just 2 years ago, 61,000 deaths. Did you ever see that on the headlines? You didn't. A little perspective, I think, might help us here. There are 40...
Okay, so if you're stuck in your house, you can't go out, there's nothing to do, you're self-quarantined, whatever the hell is going on with this coronavirus, if you're bored, take out your brand new DJI Mavic drone or whatever drone that you have. I've been living here on this pond for 13 years. And driving around these roads, all I thought it was a bunch of woods, some houses, and a few streets. I didn't think, once I started seeing all the footage, that I had more wetlands than I actually did. So it's been a treat getting used to this drone thing. I'm starting to really enjoy it, and I can't wait to use it more and more in showing the videos. So I'm gonna end the video with some drone footage of my backyard. I hope you enjoy it. So until the next video, everybody, Baldadonis out. Good morning, guys. Real quick, I talk about steroids in my videos. Actually, it was my very first video. Having a heart attack and other several side effects from steroids. Years ago, from when I got out of prison, I was unhappy with my body. So I decided to do steroids. Out of 5 years, I was on and off them as much as possible, only because back then I didn't have the supply like you could probably have today with online orders. And the guessing game back then for me was the person at the gym giving me the information on how the steroids work. So I was eager to change my body because I was unhappy with it. I learned over the years, and especially it's true now, that being the best version of yourself is the best way to go. People are gonna love you for the person who you are, not the way you look, not how much muscle that you have, how much you can bench press. None of that stuff matters. That's an ego thing for the person, okay? If you're hanging around with people that are all about the egos, then maybe you're not with the right crowd. Unfortunately, it had a lot of side effects. I had a heart attack. I seen a cardiologist last week. I did an echocardiogram. I have to do an echocardiogram for my heart every 2 years now. At first, it was every year. Now, I had a bad valve, and it closed down to 42%. I got lucky, so it was a mild heart attack, but nevertheless, it still was a heart attack. And all the complications that go with that, all the medications, and it's not fun having heart problems from steroids because of your ego. Now, I got an email during this video yesterday, and it was a nice one, and I appreciate it. His name is Bruno. Bruno here, he watched my videos, and he says right here, "Hello from Denmark. I want to thank you for the videos on YouTube. It made me think twice and stopped me before using steroids. I ended not taking it I just wanted to express my thanks to you, and it made a difference. Thanks, man. Bruno Lopez, age 47. Thank you very much for the kind words. That's my job. That's my goal, is to learn from my mistakes. Okay, if you're gonna do steroids, there are side effects. Eventually, you will get side effects. I just don't want somebody to experience what I experienced. That's all. So I will be doing a updated video with my heart doctor, my cardiologist. It's probably being in a few weeks. He wants to be in the video. He wants to detail all the problems that people go through with their hearts. So you're not just hearing it from a ex-bodybuilder or a powerlifter. You're actually going to hear it from a doctor on what steroids really do to your heart. Okay, so I just wanted to get that into this video. Thank you.